Hey everyone, this is John at Bearbill Traders, and I want to review my best and worst trade for 16 April 2021. As always, if you could like this video, subscribe to this channel, or drop a comment below, we always appreciate that. My best trade today was on MRNA, actually a couple high-day break trades here. One was at 160.17, one's at 162.73. And I want to bring up a topic I get asked a lot. People ask, can you take a high day break on the same stock multiple times? And you certainly can. I do it all the time. Often you get a stock running like MRNA ran today, and it just offers multiple opportunities. It can be really great, actually. So you can see the two I took here, and then it even offered a third one here. I didn't get in a third time. I think I was looking at something else. Or, I also didn't like this pullback. Just wasn't big enough. It was only about, I don't know, 50 cents or so, maybe a bit more. But yeah, I decided not to get back in, and that actually turned out to be the best break of all, of course. The volume at entry on my first trade was 270,000 shares. The R-vol was 70%. I don't have the volume for the second trade, but the R-vol, I recall, was also at 70%. It had not changed by then. Interestingly, MRNA got up as high as around 280 on R-vol. That's quite a change for relative volume throughout the course of a day. So you can see a lot of interest came into MRNA today. The first trade was very early for me. So the reason I got in so early is I really liked that the SPY was selling off from the open, and MRNA was clearly bucking that trend, and it was making a strong move up to its high of day, just above the previous close, this black dotted line here. And you had this unusual stepped up 1 minute volume. I'm always looking for this pattern in volume, but to see it right at the beginning, right, in the second, third, fourth candle is very unusual. So MRNA looks very strong, and I wanted to take a chance on this. So the SPY had flattened a bit by entry, so it's sort of harmless here. It's no longer falling. Whenever I can, I like the SPY to be in my direction. But I will be honest, early in the morning, we're certainly early here, only 4 or 5 minutes after the open. But I often take trades 10 minutes after the open, and I'm not as worried what the SPY is doing, because stocks are going to behave more independently in the early morning. But as the day goes on, you want to trade in the direction of the market if you can. But it was kind of flat here, and I deemed it to be a bit harmless. Took an entry at 160.25, got 150% partial near a dollar level and out near break even. For the second attempt, we also had a nicely stepped up 1 minute volume profile. So that was definitely looking good, and the SPY was now nicely in my direction. And like I said, as you get out later in the day, even 15 minutes, 20 minutes after the market opens, you really want to be trading with the market if you can. So I look for that, and this was clearly stepping up in my direction. Took an entry at 162.80, 150% partial at 163.44, near yesterday's high. So I took 50% off at this green dotted line, which is the high of yesterday, which turned out to be a good place to take a partial. And again, out near break even. The worst trade was on Tesla. This was another high day break trade. The high day 732.55, volume at entry 5 million shares. R-vol is 80%, but tons of volume to trade on, so very tradable. Not a great setup. I will admit that I get biased on Tesla. It can be very explosive. I tend to trade it well, and when it offers high day break opportunities, I'm often taking it, and sometimes against my better judgment, which probably happened here a little bit. It was trending up nice to the high of day, but the market was trending up during this exact same time period. So there's definitely, I think, some market influence in making it go up to its high of day. I got a nice spike in 1 minute volume, but not white steps. In fact, the volume was stepping down until this spike happened, but this volume bar is taller than anything. You have to go all the way back until here, around 9:43 in the morning or so. So that's a decent spike in volume as it approaches and just starts to break over high a day, so I like that. The SPY entry was sort of flat, sort of harmless, but also not helping. Like I said on my last trade, it'd be better to be entering over here where you have an upward trend in the SPY. So when I say this was not a great setup, it really would have been better if I had the SPY trending up in my direction. That was one thing working against me there. Bad entry at 732.95. Entered right below a dollar level, which is an easy place to reject from, and that's exactly what it did. Missed the high a day by just too much. Even on Tesla, I was very disappointed with this entry, and maybe should have bailed on the trade immediately just based on that. But it immediately began to fail, and it set up what I call a dying 1 minute chart pattern. That's where the next candle. The candle after your entry candle is red. The next one's red, and the next one's red. You have 3 red candles in a row with lower lows and lower highs. That's exactly what we have here. And usually when I see this, whatever I'm down, whatever amount I've lost, I just accept and I get out, because usually it's going to go down for a full 1 hour loss. Why I stayed in this is because this S3 pivot, I was curious if it would provide support for the price to go back up. You can see there was some resistance here at S3 before, and was curious if it was now going to provide support. Now, this is a bit of a judgment call. Did it provide support here? Maybe. It might have been S3 that did this, or maybe I just got lucky, but areas of support and resistance are exactly, but they're areas. They're drawn as lines, but it does not happen to the penny, right? So as it started to fall through S3, I became more doubtful that there was actually support happening here. And around here, I was at about a 0.6 hour loss, and then got lucky. More volume came in, the price spiked, and I actually thought it was going to carry it well into the green and I'd be on my way, but it did not. And I was out near break even at 733. So thank you for listening, and I will talk to everyone next time. Bye-bye.